Usually when we think about navigation, whether it's literal or I guess metaphorical, we imagine holding a physical map, right?
Right, like an actual paper map.
Yeah, exactly. You look at the terrain, you plot the coordinates, and you actively decide where to make your turns. It's a highly conscious, deliberate process.
You're the one doing the math. You're charting the course.
Precisely. You are the captain of the ship. But step into our modern digital ecosystem, and suddenly that map is gone. Instead, you find yourself sort of floating down a river. And this river is astonishing. I mean, the water is perfectly temperature controlled. The current is moving at exactly the speed you like to travel.
The scenery is exactly what you want to see.
Exactly. The scenery passing by is tailored perfectly to your exact tastes. It is completely, utterly frictionless.
And because it feels so incredibly smooth, almost effortless, you just stop paddling. You just let the current take you.
Welcome to the debate. That frictionless river is our modern digital life, powered by artificial intelligence. Today, we're looking at the profound integration of AI into our daily routines, specifically focusing on how it acts as an engine to massively increase our daily productivity. The core tension we're exploring today is this. Does AI's ability to seamlessly optimize our tasks, to remove friction from our days, empower us to be more productive than ever before? Or does its subtle psychological mapping turn us into passive passengers who have just surrendered our conscious decision-making?
It's a massive question.
It really is. Now, I'm arguing that AI is an invaluable productivity tool. It acts as a master executive assistant. It removes mundane friction, it optimizes our logistics, and crucially, it allows us to reclaim our time and cognitive bandwidth to focus on what actually matters.
And, well, I look at that exact same ecosystem and I see something completely different. I argue that this highly celebrated productivity comes at a really steep cost to our cognitive autonomy. AI doesn't just save us time, it achieves this efficiency by deeply tracking our emotional vulnerabilities. It builds a psychological map to essentially gently manipulate our daily choices, our habits, and ultimately our worldview.
Okay, well, let's ground this in the reality of, say, a normal Tuesday morning. Because we really need to look at how AI can actually increase our daily productivity in tangible ways. I mean, every human being wakes up with a finite amount of decision-making power, right?
Sure, decision fatigue is real.
Exactly. What AI does brilliantly, I think, is work seamlessly in the background to preserve that mental energy. Imagine your alarm goes off before you even have to think. A meditation app recommends a 5-minute breathing exercise because, well, your smartwatch analyzed your sleep cycles and noticed you lacked REM sleep.
Right, and then your navigation app routes you to work, completely bypassing the intersection where you got stuck in traffic last week.
Yes, and the productivity compounding, it doesn't stop there. You get to your desk and your email client has already prioritized your messages, filtering out the noise. It's even drafted smart replies based on the specific cadence and vocabulary of your past communications.
Oh yeah, the autocomplete is getting uncanny.
Right? But by providing this path of least resistance, AI removes the friction of micro-decisions. It allows us to be highly efficient and focused. I mean, we're talking about a massive multiplier for our daily output here. You aren't wasting 20 minutes sorting emails or, getting frustrated in traffic. You're immediately empowered to direct your energy toward complex, meaningful work.
Look, I come at it from a very different angle. You're calling it a path of least resistance, which sounds great. But we have to look at how that path is actually paved.
Okay.
The true cost of this frictionless productivity is independent thought. We aren't just talking about saving a few minutes on a commute. The system is building an incredibly deep preference model from thousands of tiny digital footprints. We're talking about every tap, every pause, the exact milliseconds your thumb lingers over a post.
But wait, isn't that just data collection for the sake of utility? Like, to make the app work better for you?
It's data collection for the sake of prediction. And prediction shapes behavior. Look at the mechanism of how it achieves that morning routine you just praised. The real danger here is the complacency it breeds.
Complacency?
Yeah. Say you're traveling to work and your audio app automatically starts playing a podcast that people like you are listening to right now. Or a recipe app tells you exactly what to prepare for breakfast because it knows your recent eating habits and your current energy levels.
Sounds pretty helpful to me.
It creates a current. When the options presented are so perfectly calibrated to what people like you do, we stop searching for alternatives. We think we're being highly productive because we didn't spend 5 minutes choosing a podcast or a meal, but we're actually just following a path mathematically designed to maximize our engagement with that specific platform.
I see.
We lose the serendipity of discovery, and honestly, more importantly, we lose the mental muscle of making active choices.
That's an interesting point, though I would definitely frame it differently. Think about my earlier example of an executive assistant.
Okay.
In the physical world, if I have an incredibly observant human assistant who notices I'm exhausted from a poor night's sleep, proactively orders my favorite coffee, reschedules no morning meetings, and hands me a summary of my urgent emails, we call that peak professional productivity.
Sure.
We celebrate that as incredible support. We don't call it manipulation. Why does it suddenly become sinister when an algorithm performs the exact same function, using the data we willingly provide to make our lives smoother?
I'm sorry, but I just don't buy that comparison.
Why not?
Let me tell you why. A human executive assistant works for you. Their ultimate goal is your well-being and your professional success. The AI algorithm works for the platform. Its ultimate goal is engagement, data extraction, and monetization.
And the difference becomes glaringly obvious when we move from what the AI does to the mechanics of how it deeply interprets our physical and emotional data.
I still think it's just pattern matching to provide a service. It's not out to get you.
It's much deeper than that, though. Let's look at a really specific scenario. Say you type the phrase, "Why am I always tired?" into a search bar. The AI doesn't just see a text query, it is looking at the velocity of your keystrokes.
Wait, really? The keystrokes?
Yes, it's measuring the erratic cadence, the backspaces, the micro-hesitations that correlate with heightened cortisol levels in millions of other users. It's literally pattern matching your physiological stress.
Right. So it's synthesizing your typing speed with your age, your location, the time of day.
Exactly. And from that immense data set, it deduces that you are stressed and overworked. And what does it do with that info? It doesn't act like your human executive assistant and tell you to take a day off.
Okay, fair.
It immediately targets you with advertisements for energy drinks, new memory foam mattresses, paid productivity apps. We've all been there, right? You pause for 2 seconds too long on a video about running marathons, and suddenly your entire feed is trying to sell you electrolyte gel and carbon-plated shoes.
Yeah, the targeting is fast.
If you hesitate on a pair of shoes late at night, it learns that you're impulsive during those hours, and it weaponizes that data by presenting you with discounts or frequently bought together suggestions right when your willpower's lowest. It interprets your vulnerabilities to drive purchases.
Look, you're right that the platform wants engagement. I won't deny the profit motive, but you're assuming malicious intent where there's actually just radical efficiency. You're completely ignoring the fact that the user is actually getting their problem solved.
Solved?
Yes. Let's look at the mechanics of what is actually happening in your mattress example. The AI compares your specific behavior, the erratic typing, the late-night searches, with millions of other people who are similar to you and have your exact sleep profile.
Right.
It uses that massive data set to accurately predict what will help you next.
But is it helping you, or is it just selling you the most profitable Band-Aid?
I'd argue that if I am genuinely exhausted and my mattress is terrible, bypassing the research phase and serving me the exact mattress that millions of people with my sleep profile have rated highly, that is a massive net gain for my overall productivity.
Even if you didn't ask for it?
Absolutely. I don't have to spend 20 hours scrolling through consumer reports or driving to showrooms while I'm already stressed out. It's frictionless commerce, and it saves me hours of cognitive labor. If the system notices late-night sadness through the music I'm playing and suggests uplifting playlists or mental health podcasts the next day, it's actively increasing my overall capacity to function well. It is solving my problems faster than I could solve them myself.
That assumes the solution is actually what's best for your life, rather than just what keeps you within the consumption loop.
What do you mean?
When the AI builds what data scientists call a preference model, it isn't just learning your mattress size. It is mapping your emotional triggers. It knows if you respond better to fear-based messages or hope-based ones. It knows if you trust authoritative expert opinions or raw emotional stories from influencers.
Okay.
So when you are stressed, the solution it offers invariably involves consuming something from its ecosystem. You mentioned earlier the idea of our digital feeds acting as a mirror of our subconscious habits.
Yes, a perfect reflection of what we're paying attention to.
But that mirror is distorted. It's like a funhouse mirror. It doesn't reflect who you truly are. It reflects the version of you that is most easily monetized and kept on the platform.
I think that's a bit cynical.
It reflects your vulnerabilities, your late-night insecurities, your quick-twitch emotional responses. When the AI interprets that you are insecure about your body right now because you lingered on fitness pages, it creates a perfect storm of before and after photos and supplement ads. It is actively exploiting that insecurity to generate revenue.
I see the risks there, but I still argue the utility far outweighs it. We willingly trade those digital footprints for the ability to navigate the world with unprecedented speed and efficiency. The predictive models you're critiquing are the exact same models that allow a doctor to find vital medical research instantly.
Sure, in a professional database.
They're the same models that allow a small business owner to automate their marketing and reach the right customers, or allow a parent to find the fastest route to their kid's school during an emergency. The interpretation of data, finding patterns among millions of users to predict the next logical step, is the foundation of modern productivity.
That's a compelling argument regarding the short-term utility, I'll give you that. But have you considered what happens when this mechanism moves beyond commerce and logistics and starts shaping our fundamental worldview?
Our worldview.
Because this is where the long-term consequences of AI's daily guidance become profound. We have to talk about the perfect storm of content.
You're talking about how ideas and beliefs spread algorithmically?
Exactly. The AI learns which emotional triggers work best on us: anger, hope, fear, belonging, outrage. It then feeds us news, opinions, and lifestyle content accordingly. Let's say the AI notices your occasional searches about money worries.
Okay, pretty common.
It doesn't just show you a spreadsheet to fix your budget. It begins a steady, algorithmic flow of success stories, expert financial advice, luxury lifestyle reels, and hustle culture podcasts. Over time, months, years, certain ideas start feeling obviously true to you simply because they were presented consistently when you were most receptive.
Essentially the mere exposure effect, but automated.
Yes, amplified by a supercomputer. It doesn't drop you into the deep end. It builds a bridge of content. You might eventually buy a $5,000 course for financial freedom, or adopt a radical new diet, or even shift your political leanings, believing these were entirely your natural, organic ideas. But the seeds were planted day by an algorithm optimizing for your attention. Your very desires are being architected.
Look, I acknowledge the power of that mechanism. It's subtle and it's constant. But the antidote to being passively shaped by that content storm isn't to just throw our phones in the river and reject the technology entirely.
Obviously not.
The solution is conscious awareness. Artificial intelligence is not evil in itself. It's an incredibly powerful tool. By asking ourselves a few core questions throughout the day, like, why am I seeing this specific video right now? Or would I want this if no one was suggesting it? Or does this choice match my real values or just my current mood? We break that passive loop.
Easier said than done.
But it's possible. We can absolutely reap all the massive daily productivity benefits of AI, the frictionless scheduling, the perfectly tailored information retrieval, while remaining the conscious driver.
I agree that awareness is the defense, but we have to acknowledge how incredibly difficult that is in practice. The AI is working at a level of microanalysis that the human brain just isn't equipped to constantly monitor.
Well, we don't have to monitor every millisecond.
But the AI does. It is measuring the milliseconds you pause on a photo of someone else's vacation. It's measuring the exact speed at which you scroll past political news versus entertainment. To constantly ask, why am I seeing this, requires a level of persistent cognitive effort that directly contradicts the frictionless convenience the AI is selling you in the first place.
It takes some effort, sure.
This guidance is psychologically powerful precisely because it doesn't fight your will. It makes the path of least resistance feel natural and pleasant. It is exhausting to constantly interrogate the path of least resistance.
I see why you think that, but let me give you a slightly different perspective. If the ultimate antidote to AI's influence is our own self-awareness, if it requires us to deeply understand our own true goals, our emotional patterns, and our core values,
then doesn't this technology actually force us to become more intentional and mindful human beings?
Right, you're saying that the threat of manipulation is a catalyst for personal growth?
Precisely. Think about the mechanics of this. In the past, we could drift through life without our environments reflecting our subconscious habits back at us in real time. Today, if my feed is suddenly full of outrage bait or impulse purchases, I have immediate, measurable feedback about where my attention is drifting.
Huh.
The AI is simply showing me the results of my own digital footprints. By demanding that we ask, am I deciding this or am I being gently guided? The AI forces us to define what we actually want, rather than just what we react to. It's the ultimate test of intentionality.
To suggest that we should be grateful for this psychological mapping because it forces us to be more self-aware? I mean, that's like saying we should be grateful for pickpockets because they teach us to be more mindful of our wallets.
That's a bit extreme.
Yes, you might learn to guard your pockets, but you are still living in an environment designed to exploit your inattention. And, it goes beyond just the content we consume. Even our human relationships are being affected.
How so?
Well, when you open a message from a friend, the AI suggests 3 perfectly acceptable replies. It reminds you about birthdays at the exact right moment. Even the way you express affection can be subtly influenced by patterns the AI has observed in millions of successful conversations. When we allow an algorithm to optimize our human interactions, to suggest the words we use to speak to our loved ones, we're optimizing for efficiency at the expense of authenticity. We're trading the messy, beautiful reality of independent human thought for a smoothly paved, predetermined road.
But again, I'd say that reminder to buy flowers or that suggested reply might just save a busy parent who genuinely loves their spouse but is completely overwhelmed by the cognitive load of a modern workday. The tool is neutral. The application is up to us.
I don't know if it's truly neutral.
Well, as we look at the whole picture here, I maintain that AI is an unparalleled engine for enhancing our daily productivity. By seamlessly interpreting our data to remove mundane friction, it gives us back our most valuable resources, time and mental bandwidth. Yes, it relies on predictive modeling and pattern matching, but offloading those micro decisions is exactly what empowers us to tackle high-level, meaningful work. It's about leveraging the ultimate assistant so we can actually move our lives forward.
And while the time saved is undeniable, I think we have to remain acutely aware of the silent trade-off. This technology acts as a constant, invisible companion, building complex psychological maps based on our every hesitation and typing speed. The efficiency it provides is deeply, perhaps inextricably entangled with an architecture designed to keep us engaged, often by leveraging our emotional vulnerabilities.
It subtly directs our choices, shapes our habits, and plants the seeds of our beliefs.
That's a tension we all have to navigate, absolutely. But I think we find a crucial point of convergence here. AI is incredibly powerful, and its immense benefits, the radical increases in our productivity, can only be safely enjoyed if we transition from being passive passengers to conscious drivers of our digital lives. Agreed. The technology itself is just a tool interpreting data. The critical factor is whether we allow the algorithm to be the invisible director of our days, or whether we cultivate the self-awareness required to question those beautifully personalized flows presented to us.
Ultimately, the true power lies in the data we generate and how we allow it to be interpreted and acted upon. So, we'll leave you with this final thought. The next time you find yourself floating effortlessly down that digital river, the next time an automatic choice, a perfect recommendation, or a seamless flow appears in your routine, pause for a second and look at the current. Ask yourself, are you sailing toward a destination you consciously chose, or are you just following a beautifully tailored path that was gently laid out for you?